legendary Indian plates in Palo Alto. Did it live up to the hype?
It so lived up.
Burgers al fresco in Half Moon Bay.
The bread makes the sandwich.
The bread makes the sandwich.
And Central Asian cuisine in San Jose.
And it really knocked my socks up.
Just ahead on Check Please Bay Area.
You heard it here first. This smacks.
Yeah, it smacks.
Hi, I'm Leslie Sabraco. Welcome to Check Please Bay Area, the show where Bay Area residents review and talk about their favorite restaurants. Now we have 3 guests, and each one recommends one of their favorite spots, and the other 2 go check them out to see what they think. Joining me at the Check Please table today are 3 very studious guests. Dental student Avni Tumaluri, psychology and brain science student Eliza Bulanti, and scorpion researcher grad student Jacob Gourneau. Welcome, everyone.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Avni's restaurant offers a tempting fusion of Indian and California cuisine. Add in Ayurveda-inspired cocktails, vibrant decor, and it's the perfect place for a family dinner or a first date. Located in downtown Palo Alto, it's ROOH.
ROOH means soul in Persian and in India also.
I think ROOH is passion. It's passion for food, it's passion for hospitality, it's passion for putting a twist on traditional food that goes back hundreds of years.
All right, perfect. I grew up in Mumbai. I'm Gujarati. Our food culture was something which had sweet, sour and spicy, all umami flavors together. At ROOH, we have covered all the regions of India, many lost recipes which people have forgotten to cook.
We always like to think it's nostalgic, but we wrapped it in this beautiful presentation with these vibrant colors and just a tiny bit of a modern twist to all these beautiful traditional dishes.
Also the street food which people used to enjoy during their childhood. That first taste should take them to their childhood memories of family or the place where I was born.
We all know that Indian cuisine is a lot of vegetarian items, but I think we've turned it into such a fun and exciting way of eating vegetarian food that it never gets old. It's always amazing.
In Sanskrit, they always say Atiti Devo Bhava. That means the guest should be treated like God. That's how we follow it as a part of our hospitality culture.
It's so great when people walk and they're like, it was my first time here and I have to be back, because, you know, it's exciting to see people be excited.
All right, Avni, I mean, this place is really a creative take, right, on Indian street food.
I think that I love that it's a progressive Indian cuisine, but it kind of has a mix of the inspiration of California culture with the Indian culture. And I love the decor, I love the atmosphere. You walk in and it's just like this shroud of reds and these antique decorations and mirrors.
It puts you in the mood.
Yeah, it really puts you in the mood. It really does. I'm ready to eat. I'm ready to have fun.
You're ready.
And I absolutely always go for the paneer chili roll. It looks like a pinwheel, which is really cool because I feel like it marries in the American culture.
Yeah, like lunch snack.
Yeah, it's like a plastic Lunchable.
I think it's snackable or something.
Yeah, like snackable.
Well, I hear Eliza going, yeah. Did you have this as well?
I did, and it was phenomenal. I thought that the flavors and the textures, I loved how they wrapped them all up because the paneer wasn't super overwhelming, and the crispiness of the katafi too, with kind of the smoothness of the paneer, was perfect. And then what really put it over the top for me was the chili garlic chutney that it came with.
Yeah.
The flavor of that was phenomenal, and just paired with the textures, it was a work of art, like every other dish I had here too.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. I had the assorted papad, which came with 3 different chutneys and a bunch of different crispy crackers that were variously seasoned. My favorite one was the chili peanut one. I love peanut flavor, but in particular, this peanut was like so rich and decadent. It almost had like a chocolatey richness to it, which was really delicious.
I loved this menu in that it really emphasized small plates, so my family and I got a lot of them to share, which as an adventurous eater was so fun for me to get to try so many different things. I think my favorite had to be the chicken tikka kulcha. It was like this warm, round flatbread stuffed with this really flavorful shredded chicken. And then it had this beautiful dollop of za'atar butter and pickled onions on top. And it came out warm so that the butter kind of melted in. And the flavors just melded perfectly. It was glorious.
So did you get the most of it, and then your parents just a little bit?
Exactly. Everyone took a little bite, and I was like, this one is for me.
Yeah.
And then I also, probably the most beautiful dish I got was the potato tiki chaat.
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
like a cube of really thinly sliced potatoes, and it sat atop this yogurt sauce that was almost like a whipped cream consistency, drizzled with a tamarind sauce and some raspberry seeds.
Yes.
The flavors and the textures were incredible.
I really like the jackfruit toast.
Ooh.
I love jackfruit. I feel like if you're able to season it right, it can be very meaty. And the jackfruit itself is very nicely spiced. And then with that buttery bread on the bottom, oh my gosh, guys,
It's a nice
perfect.
combination.
Yeah.
I had a duck seek kebab.
Ooh.
I always like duck. I know sometimes people feel like it's a little on the fatty side of things, but it was just this incredible flavor bomb, the meat itself, and there was some mixed berry chutney on top as well. And so it was really this beautiful balance between tang and spice. Like, definitely my favorite
amazing.
dish.
Did they order right?
They
so
ordered
far?
right.
Okay, good.
My mouth is watering, guys.
Yeah.
If you guys ever go again, you should definitely order the Malai broccoli.
Ooh.
Now, I know it sounds like, why would I pay for a broccoli? But it's this giant piece, and it's placed on this creamy dal, which is like lentil-based sauce.
Dal.
And it's very like nicely spiced.
Get the broccoli.
I'll
All
have
right.
to try that.
Yeah.
I also had a delicious mocktail that went perfectly with the dishes I got. It was the pink guava mocktail, and it had these hints of masala spices in it, which I think cut the sweetness of the guava perfectly and really paired nicely with this meal.
I'm so excited because I had the same one.
No way. Okay.
I'm like, no way.
It was so good.
I tried the mulberry sour, which was really refreshing and bright to kind of complement some of those warmer spices. And the thing that really blew my socks off was the Patna Fizz, which is a lychee flavored cocktail that also has, I believe, some mushroom essence in it. Beautifully purple, like it was really amazing.
And dessert?
Oh, of course. Of course I had dessert. I always go for the kulfi. If you guys don't know what it is, it's sort of an Indian ice cream. And the flavors that they have are like pistachio or saffron, flavors that you wouldn't really get at your normal supermarket. And it's just always decorated so beautifully.
My takeaway was this is amazing, this is a great special occasion venue, and I wouldn't necessarily go there on a first date, but I would definitely take someone I really love there and, you know, show my love through these dishes. Like, it's really a love letter to food.
All right, if you would like to try ROOH, it's located on University Avenue in Palo Alto. And the average tab per person without drinks is around $60. Eliza's a big-time burger lover, and she says the absolute best can be found at her casual coastal eatery. Located in Half Moon Bay, it's The Barn.
The Barn is casual.
Can I steal one of your pies for the dog?
It's communal above all.
It's put itself on the map as a little oasis and really just part of our ethos, which is happy people make good food.
Yeah.
It's so delicious.
Matter of fact, I find that the best food is generally the simplest. We make everything that we possibly can. Our ingredients come from local purveyors as much as possible. We make the best burger on the coast. I know that could be an arguable statement, but I'm happy to take on anyone else that wants to challenge it. And it's not because of some secret ingredient. We use our homemade American cheese, sauces, high-quality bun. For sure, one of the highlights for me and a lot of customers is the veggie burger. We cook down a lot of ingredients, primarily mushrooms and farro for build and texture. And I'm not a vegetarian, so I'll honestly have that with a little bacon on top, and it's fantastic.
Can we talk about the milkshakes? Because there's something about the milkshakes which you don't find anywhere.
It's Marianne's ice cream from Santa Cruz and a splash or two of milk just to be able to blend it together. And then we make our own ingredients to create the flavor. So if it's chocolate, we'll make separate chocolate ganache that then gets put into the ice cream.
And of course, homemade whipped cream.
Well, yeah, if you need to have that little bit more
Why
fun on
not?
top.
I mean, for the person who has bacon on a veggie burger,
True.
with cream on a milkshake is par for the course. So, Half a Bay, we are on the coast. The restaurant is about a 5-minute walk from the sand. The Dutch word is called gezellig. It means warm, comfortable, family, and that's what this place means to me.
Eliza, this spot feels like, you've gone to the beach, you've hung out on those gorgeous beaches in Half Moon Bay, and now you need something to eat, right?
100%. That's one of my favorite parts about this restaurant, is you can really do it all here, whether that's after a hike by the beach or just hanging out for the day. You can kind of get a sense of that local vibe that represents the quaint town of Half Moon Bay, I think, really well.
All right, what is your favorite?
Oh, yes. Okay, what's kept me coming back for years? It's the Pretender. So although I am a beef hamburger loving person, the Pretender, it is my must-have here. It's kind of a hearty patty. It's filled with farro, mushrooms, flax, garlic, and Parmesan, and I know that so well because I've even tried to recreate it at home. It's that good. And then topped with some white cheddar cheese, caramelized onions, lemon-dressed arugula, fresh tomato on a toasted brioche bun. And a tip given to me years ago by a lovely employee was to add pickled beets as well.
And you're a vegetarian, right? So did you find your way to that dish?
Yep, I had the Pretender.
Okay, what did you
felt
think?
like I was pretending. No, it was so good. I actually really liked it.
And what did you have when you went there?
I had a pulled pork sandwich, which was amazing. It was super sweet, super smoky. I have a huge sweet tooth, but I am glad that I ordered the spicy coleslaw on the
ask which one you got. I know you can do it sweet or spicy.
Yeah,
I
and
did
the spicy really balanced it out a lot, and man, the buns themselves were also delicious.
Yeah.
I had the vegan BBQ one, which I also was a little hesitant about because sometimes, with the vegan versions, you never know. But this one was insane. It was so good because it was with jackfruit.
Jackfruit is so good.
It really has like that meaty tenderness. Yeah, and the ciabatta bread. That bread, it was amazing.
I have to mention the What the Cluck sandwich too, because that also comes on the ciabatta bread. It's a chicken sandwich. It comes with goat cheese on top, arugula, tomato, and then their house-made barn buttermilk. And you can opt to get it crispy or grilled. I usually get mine crispy, and I think the creaminess and the tanginess of the goat cheese with the crispiness and the saltiness of the fried chicken, it balances perfectly. And that ciabatta roll, I think, really puts it over the top.
Well, I think a ciabatta holds things in.
Yes, it does.
The bread makes the sandwich.
The bread makes
made
the sandwich.
it. Yeah. And I didn't know the buttermilk was house made.
Yes.
Because I think that came with, I'm segueing the Mac Attack.
The Mac Attack is my very favorite. I always have to get a side of the Mac Attack with whatever main I choose. It's like a cube of fried mac and cheese, perfectly golden and crispy. It has like a nice crust on it, so it doesn't fall apart, and sprinkled with some flaky sea salt. And you get that nice cheese pull in every bite. And it comes with their house-made buttermilk.
I didn't know it was house-made. That actually made it 10 times better.
Yeah.
Because this Mac Attack is an actual famous thing in the peninsula.
Right.
Everyone talks about it, and so I've been feeling left out. I'm like, try this Mac Attack. I finally got to go, and it's so
Did it live up
good.
to the hype?
It so lived up. Oh my God, me and my cousin were like, whoa, it was insane.
Another thing that I tried was the hot farmer burger, which is like everything that I'm looking for in anything.
Yes.
Which was a balance of some peppery arugula, fried onions, and that was just sweet, spicy, sour.
Wow.
I was hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah. But I did get an amazing drink. It was called, I'm going to mispronounce this, a lollyberry lemonade. A lollyberry lemonade, right?
Yeah.
That was good, right?
That's one of the best.
Well, I was like, what berry is a lollyberry? So I looked it up. It's just a different variation of a blackberry.
Yep.
You guys are like, yeah, we knew. But it didn't really taste exactly like a blackberry. It almost had this tanginess, and they had full lollyberries at the bottom I could pick out at the end.
Oh yeah, I
It
did
was
the
so
same
good.
thing. I was just waiting to finish it so I could have all of them.
Did you have any desserts?
I did.
I
always have to get
Eliza's turning into our dessert.
She's the dessert.
I have a big sweet tooth, and I always have to get a dessert. So my favorite have got to be their milkshakes. They're just a classic, simple vanilla milkshake, topped with a dollop of whipped cream, and again served in the nice mason jar. It's just the perfect sweet to end the meal.
That sounds so good. They make their own pastries there too. I saw.
Okay, so I got an apple pie
there we go.
also a few
Well,
times
because
ago.
remember, you were working for the,
Right. It was topped with this crumbly topping. I mean, it was a big piece too, enough to share, and really, really delicious.
And did you think that it was a good value?
I think so, yeah. I think it was an excellent value. And I feel like the space is so spread out and large outside that you'd never be wrestling with someone to get a seat or something. Or if you're having like a day trip out in Half Moon Bay, it's a great place to stop on your way in or out.
All right. If you would like to try the barn, it's located on Highway 1 in Half Moon Bay. And the average tab per person without drinks is around $30. Jacob's restaurant is a very rare find indeed. It's one of only a handful in the Bay Area serving the traditional dishes of an ancient Silk Road empire. Hidden away in San Jose, it's Kusan Uyghur Cuisine.
So just mix it well before you eat it. Kusan Uyghur Cuisine is a modern fusion of the Uyghur foods. And Kusan was this big empire from 1,000 years ago. This area covered northwest of China, Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, also the north of the India. So the Uyghur people were living in Central Asia, and the place I'm from is called Urumqi. How was everything? Really good. The food, the drinks, this is the most easy way to let customer know you and know your culture. Our Uyghur food have a lot of rich flavors, we have a lot of spice. We make everything fresh, daily. All the meat is halal. I'm making the langman. We came early to cook all the lamb, the beef, the soup. Our handful noodles. And people all can tell that we make noodle fresh every day. After the noodles cook, it's too hot. And we have to cool it down, and the noodle can taste more tender. The yogurt is the most important part of our history and our foods. When I was little, my mom make it yogurt for me at home. We eat yogurt a lot because, we eat a lot of lamb, so you want to balance the oily meats. We are really appreciate each customer that came. So every time a customer finish the food, we offer them free ice cream. I feel like everybody can feel more happy and still can remember us. That's the most important thing. I'm so proud and so happy I have this restaurant in Bay Area because a lot of people, they never tried our food. And I believe that a lot of people love it. So that will make me more even exciting.
Now, this place is really a hidden gem.
Yeah.
I mean, is that the appeal for you?
I think for me, yeah. I think something I just love about this place is it's just this beautiful enmeshment of more traditional Eastern Chinese cooking styles and spices, as well as things from Western Asia. And something I really go for is the black fungus salad. They toss black fungus, which is this kind of gelatinous large fungus, with chili oil, a little bit of sesame oil, and a little bit of soy sauce. And then there are a few goji berries sprinkled in there that allow for kind of a almost like raisiny sweetness that really offsets and cuts through the fat and the saltiness of the soy sauce.
Did you have this dish?
I had the same thing. I know my reactions are giving it away. I had the same thing. It was so good. I think that was one of my favorite dishes there. I really like that texture. Your teeth just bite into it really well. Like, it's really satisfying.
Yeah, it's like like almost like a gummy worm.
Yeah, yeah.
Very toothy.
Yeah.
Chili oil gummy worm.
Yeah.
What did you start with?
Okay, so I didn't get that, but I'm gonna have to try that next time. I'm so interested now. I got the samsa to start, which were 2 little golden pockets of dough stuffed with lamb and topped with sesame seeds, black pepper, and salt. It was a really simple dish, but it really allowed the flavor of the lamb, which I know is really popular in this cuisine, to shine through. And I thought it had a perfect ratio of crust to filling. It was really phenomenal.
Well, it is a meat-heavy cuisine.
Right.
It was maybe a little more challenging for a vegetarian.
It was challenging.
Yeah, but doable.
No, and exactly, doable. And I had the log hum for the entree. It was one of the only ones that was vegan, but also I'm very much considering that part of the culture is to eat meat, and so I really like that they actually even thought of having a vegan or vegetarian option.
I also got the logman because it also has an option to have it with lamb. They also give you the option to have it either spicy or not spicy. I got the spicy, which is this very tomatoey stew that's kind of on a bed of handmade noodles with potatoes, cabbage, some black fungus again. It was very nice to have all of those different vegetables and all of the different textures built into this dish. I also had their lamb chow mein. And I think the typical chow mein I'm used to is very like soy sauce forward with a few sauteed vegetables. But this was just a very intense cumin stew almost, and it was really incredible.
The one disappointment I did have was when I ordered grilled naan, and it comes with cumin and chili powder, but when it came out, it was just more warmed up and it didn't have any of the spices on top of it. But you know, other than that, it was honestly overall like really good. I do like how they incorporate the spices into the dish.
And very interesting.
Yeah.
It really took you on a trip.
The spices were phenomenal. Another one of the dishes I got was the big plate chicken.
That is
which
so
was
good.
recommended, and it was just these juicy, tender pieces of chicken and potatoes and veggies. You could tell they had been simmered for a really long time. And then it was on top of these flat, wide noodles in the best sauce. It was almost like a dry heat. The spiciness hit you after. And it did have so many hints of cumin, allspice, cinnamon. And I found myself, I was dragging my noodles back and forth through the sauce in every bite just to soak it up because it was that good.
So did you guys get the yogurt drinks that they have?
Yes.
The yogurt is amazing. And that tastes homemade as well. I got the honey yuzu peel yogurt drink. So refreshing, especially with the heaviness of the meal itself.
Yeah, I had the honey lemon one.
Yes.
I just highly recommend if you're going with a few folks, make sure you all get a different yogurt drink
Yeah,
to
because you all try each other's.
Yeah.
I tried my sister's with the passion fruit one.
Yeah.
They have a milk tea that has butter in it, and if you're someone who's really fiending for some rich flavors, there's a little bit of butter, a little bit of salt, and it's just, at least for me, unconventional take on a milk tea, and it was delicious.
And any room for desserts?
I had the bakali. It was this very dense cake, and it was amazing. It had some like spices in it, maybe a little bit of like cardamom, drizzled with chocolate and caramel on top. It was very good.
And my dessert queen over here?
Oh, yes. I got the homemade yogurt dessert topped with sliced almonds and honey. Really, really good because I had never had Uyghur cuisine. So I was so excited to try something new. And it really knocked my socks off. I would go back.
Well, if you would like to try Kusan Uyghur Cuisine, it's located on 4th Street in San Jose. The average tab per person without drinks is around $30. And now, reporter Cecilia Phillips heads to Sonoma County for more Bay Area bites you've just got to try.
We're here in Sonoma County for the Fork and Good Food Festival. Where did the name come from?
Well, I probably can't really say it. Well, you know, food is pretty effing good. So, like, I thought, like, what better name than the Fork and Good Food Festival, right? Hi, how are you? Can't really forget it.
What kind of energy and vibe is going to be here today?
We have so many amazing local restaurants and food trucks here in Sonoma County, and I wanted to create an event that would bring together the food vendors and the community for a day of just food, fun, live music, and just have a good time.
The name of your business tells part of the story of what you do, so tell me about the name.
Legacy Barbecue originated from my father. My father was a pitmaster here in Sonoma County.
Thank you.
And so I took up the reins and hopefully to pass it on to my family. So continue on my father's legacy.
Amazing.
I wood fire tri-tip. I have my own rub, salt, pepper, and a little bit of garlic. Get it nice and hot, cut it real thin, and serve it right off the grill. That's the secret.
Is a tri-tip sandwich something that you should be eating with a fork?
If you can get this down without a fork, I will give you a sandwich for free. OMG.
Ah, we did it. No forks, baby. Oh, that is forking good.
Chamoy is a sweet, tangy, a little spice, kind of paste that you put around your drinks.
I love it. But you don't just do drinks.
No, one of my favorite things is a cucumber roll.
So I love that you've done cucumber so I can feel a little bit less guilty about the fact that I'm eating a lot of candy right now.
It's a well-balanced meal.
It's a good drip.
Right?
Now we're just waiting till it's fully cooked, and then we start flipping. My name is Katia, and I am owner of Los Mini Pancakes. In Mexico, they have the mini pancakes, but I'm actually one of the first ones in Sonoma County that started mini pancakes. My menu is just whatever you want. Unlimited syrups, unlimited toppings. That's what people like.
Okay, so how do you eat these? With your hands?
No, we got forks. Yeah.
They're so fluffy. I see a lot of bright colors here. What do you specialize in?
So we make a hot Cheeto menu. We have hot Cheeto burgers, hot Cheeto tamales, crunchwraps, burritos, and corn.
Good. What have you prepared for me?
Got the hot Cheeto mac and cheese burger. It goes with lettuce, tomato, onion, mayo, patty, cheese, nacho cheese, mac and cheese. We cover the bun with hot Cheeto dust.
Oh, and there's hot Cheetos on the inside too? Oh no. Oh my God. That's so good. Do you ever say anything like right when you eat something, you're like...
It smacks.
You heard it here first. This smacks.
Yeah, it smacks.
I want to thank my great guests on this week's show. Avni Tumaluri, who cherishes the chili paneer roll at ROOH in Palo Alto. Eliza Bulanti, who always makes room for the Mac Attack at the Barn in Half Moon Bay. And Jacob Gourneau, who introduced us to the fragrant flavors of Kusan Uyghur Cuisine in San Jose. Join us next time when 3 more guests will recommend their favorite spots right here on Check Please Bay Area. I'm Leslie Sabraco, and I'll see you then. Cheers!
Check Please Bay Area is made possible by the members of KQED and by Graham's Port has been family-owned and operated for over 200 years. Available at vintage and finewines.com or your local fine wine retailer. The Bay Area airport that's close and reliable. iFlyOAK.com.
Our orthopedists specialize in getting patients back out there sooner, whether they're scoring goals or achieving new ones. Sutter Health.
Bravery, caring, kindness. And that's what we live by at SF Fire Credit Union. SF Fire Credit Union, rescuing you from banks.
Crab House at Pier 39 is a family-owned restaurant featuring Dungeness killer crab, shellfish platters, and crab fried rice. Crab House serves fresh, sustainable seafood with stunning views of the San Francisco Bay. Located on Pier 39 in San Francisco, reservations at crabhouse39.com.
When you eat something delicious, what do you say when that first little taste hits your lips?
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
I say this is really bomb.
Keeping it PG, it's flipping good.
Is there certain things that you just have to eat or don't have to eat with a fork?
I feel like you're at a food festival. There's no judgment. You should be able to eat with your hands, get messy. We're here to try everything.
But hey, there's nothing wrong with this.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.